So you're thinking of managing Chelsea in Football Manager 24. Here's a 5-minute guide using in-game data to assess player performance and how that can inform your tactical and transfer needs. This is a mini Moneyball clinic. Before we start, let's introduce the pizza charts. Grouped by phase of play, this is a simple visualization for performance statistics. It is measured as a percentile compared to other players in a similar position. Each ring represents an interval of 10%. The slice represents which percentile the player is in. The bigger, the better. Let's take Reece James as an example. He's in the 95th percentile for progressive passes per 90. This means he completes more progressive passes than 95% of other fullbacks. He's only in the 10th percentile for dribbles, however, meaning that 90% of other fullbacks dribble more frequently than him. A media prediction of 6th. On average, across multiple simulations, Chelsea actually finished around 4th. A solitary league title shows they're capable of competing straight away, and anything outside of European qualification would be a failure. Neither Sanchez or Petrovic had a positive XG prevented. Sanchez was safer, Petrovic more active sweeping. Thiago Silva was the most progressive centre-back, a liability in the air. Disasi the best at winning possession, won his headers but not his tackles. Badiashile was great in all his duels. Chalobah played a decent amount of minutes and just downright sucked. At right back, James and Gusto were progressive, but not creative. Safe in possession. Gusto's appearances came mainly in cup competitions. At left back, Chilwell and Cucurella were dribbly and creative, not safe. Chilwell the better of the two. In midfield, Lavia was incredible, the best at regaining and retaining possession, and progression, and creating. Caicedo was the most active in pressuring and tackling. Fernandes won his tackles and scored at a decent rate. As did Gallagher, who was also the most dribbly. He was, however, the most careless on the ball and least effective at getting it back. In attacking midfield, Sterling was the most creative and most active in the press. Cole Palmer was the most prolific. Madueke was the most dribbly and progressive. Nkunku didn't stand out, but provided solid attacking output. Similarly, Mudryk was solid, a slightly worse Sterling. Nicholas Jackson led the line, finishing as the team's top scorer. A solid XG over performance, not much other contribution. Chelsea are suited to chaos, not control. That means gegenpress, a squad composition that suggests a 4-2-3-1. In attack, we want players providing width, a wing-back on the left, a winger on the right, an inverted winger off the left to cut inside and create, a shadow striker and pressing forward to provide a box presence. In the pivot, a defensive midfielder to cover on the wing-back side, a segundo volante to add dynamic movement between the lines. In defence, an inverted wing-back to step into midfield when the volante goes walkies. 2 plain central defenders to prioritise ball retention over risk. Instructions require little changes. Fairly narrow attacking width as progression will be easier in central areas. Trap inside as central areas are also the defensive strength. There is no transfer budget, some wiggle room with wages. You'll need to sell to buy. With players newly arrived, on long contracts or injured, your options are limited. Conor Gallagher can raise a decent chunk, with youngsters Chukwuemeka or Ugochukwu able to step up into the first team squad. Short-term centre-back cover will be vital, someone who can come in and do a job and then be sold for profit. Someone like Lille's Alexandre Ribeiro perhaps, or Strasbourg's Ismael Doucouré. Ribeiro is solid across the board, 75% tackle win rate, 70% header win rate, safe on the ball. Available for £3 million and sufficient as a stopgap. Available for around 5.25 million, Doucouré's 90% tackle win rate is impressive, as is his 2.73 possession lost, possibly a more long-term option. A striker who can do a little bit of everything in relief for Jackson would be helpful too. Someone like Young Boys' Joel Montero or Krasnodar's John Cordoba. Montero is available on loan, scores 20% above his XG, and is as capable in the air as he is with the ball at his feet. Cordoba is a little better in the air, a little bit safer in possession. He scores less, but also performs above his XG. He'd cost around £3 million. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like or maybe even subscribing. And if you want to support the channel further, there is now a Patreon linked in the description below, where you can join these wonderful folks currently adorning your screen. See you next time.